Good afternoon. I'm Jake Viola, and I want to start today by talking a little bit about innovation in state government. First, what does innovation mean? Second, how do we innovate? Third, why does it even matter? Walk down the street, go toward the Charles River, and you'd see Boston's skyline. Look up. Look up to the top of the Prudential Center. Imagine a wire slicing the sky, stretching all the way to the John Hancock Tower. In state government, innovation is a tightrope walk. It's the tightrope walk between a good idea and a desired outcome. One misstep, one stumble, that's what separates innovation from failure, from a failed idea. Innovation is always risky, especially in the public sector. Risk tolerance is low. The consequences of failure are high. So how do we create a culture that embraces innovation? In Massachusetts, we do it by training our agencies in a project management framework. A simple framework that keeps us balanced as we walk that tightrope. This framework is called Scrum. What are the stereotypes that we all hear about government? It's too big. Nothing gets done. Too slow. Too expensive. Imagine if government operated using small teams, quickly, and without breaking the bank. That's Scrum in a nutshell. So traditional project management assumes you know exactly what you want at the beginning. You know all the steps you need to get you to what you want. And what you want today is what you're still going to want tomorrow. We've found that at the beginning of a project, we don't know what we want. We think we do, but we don't really know. Scrum allows us to continually reprioritize our work. We don't stick to the original plan just because that was the original plan. We adjust it. We make changes. We organize into cross-functional and self-governing teams of about 6 people. You'll find general counsels and IT developers working shoulder to shoulder. And the best part of all is that teams meet for only 15 minutes a day. We find that meetings are a pretty big waste of time most of the time. You've probably been in a few yourself. In these 15 minutes, the teams ask everyone 3 questions. What did you do yesterday? What are you going to do today? What's standing in your way? On Fridays, we all reflect together. What went well this week and what didn't go well this week? And I assure you, every week there is something that won't go well. Scrum works for one simple reason. Scrum works because in government, you cannot innovate alone. Innovation isn't a single person. Innovation isn't a siloed department. I know this isn't always true in the private sector. Before joining government, I created my own ice cream boat business. So take the concept of an ice cream truck, add a boat, apply it to a lake up in Maine, and voila, you have Jake on the lake. Had I defined innovation back then, I would have told you, innovation happens when a flashy idea meets an entrepreneurial spirit. Innovation in government is different. You need buy-in from so many people across so many different agencies. You need to share everything with everyone so that everybody feels invested in the process and ownership over the outcome. You might feel shame when sharing an idea that's not fully developed. You have to get over it. If you're building what you think somebody wants without bringing them into the process, you're just wasting your time and you're serving no one. I spent a summer working as Maine's, and I have to say this, unofficial marijuana czar. This was a couple of years ago in the governor's office up there. Talk about an opportunity to innovate. I worked and I worked and I worked by myself to create a whole regulatory framework. And having been a good consultant, guess when I decided to share this framework? Only once it was in a polished PowerPoint deck. Exactly. So in other words, too late. Nobody wants to be presented a solution, no matter how good it is. They want to be part of the process. On the other hand, with Scrum, we all work together to create something out of nothing, like we're doing right now with the new Department of Family Medical Leave in Massachusetts. Or you can apply new thinking to fix broken processes, like we recently did at the Registry of Motor Vehicles. We've covered what innovation means and how we achieve it. I'll close right now with the question that's most important to you. Why does it matter? We all get the same advice for a happy life. Find what you love and go do it. In government, we don't always have the luxury of loving what we do. We have to learn to care. We have to learn to care when we're overseeing an IT development project. How do you learn to care? I start to care when I remember who these projects serve. That IT project is a new background record check system. It makes sure our kids are safe in their daycares, and it makes sure you get an Uber driver who never drove drunk. If you don't care, who will? Some innovations just don't happen in the private sector. The incentives aren't there. In government, we sometimes pursue projects that serve just a sliver of the population. To these people, you make all the difference. You give hope, you give security, you give peace of mind. An African proverb starts, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go fast, go alone. I don't know any of you, but I do know one thing about all of you. You're really good at working alone. You aced your SATs. You could have won Pulitzers for your admissions essays. You got into Harvard on your own. You're the best and you are the brightest of your generation. Here's the second line of that proverb. If you want to go far, go together. If you remember one thing from these past 10 minutes, forget me, forget the funny framework that we use in state government. If you remember one thing, let it be this. In government, you cannot innovate alone. It doesn't matter how good your idea is. It doesn't matter how driven you are. The stakes are too high. Our problems are too big. If we want to go far, we must go together. Thank you.